The European Union is warning pharmaceutical giants with coronavirus vaccines that it must get its share of the vaccine on schedule. The EU wants all doses as quickly as their contract provide for because infections are surging, hospitals are overwhelmed, and many of the 27 member states are struggling to get their vaccine rollout going at top speed. The hardening of its position came days after it accused Astrazeneca of failing to guarantee the delivery of coronavirus vaccines. It also had expressed displeasure over vaccine delivery delays from Pfizer-BioNTech. Astrazeneca defended itself against claims that it had reneged on contractual commitments. Belgian authorities inspected a pharmaceutical facility involved in AstraZeneca's coronavirus vaccine production chain at the request of the EU to determine whether AstraZeneca vaccine delays were due to production issues at the Novocev factory, but wouldn't comment on its findings. So we're now being joined by our RISE correspondent, Thamsanqa Zhou, to shed more light on the issues. Thamsanqa, good evening. Welcome to Newsnight. Good to have you on tonight. So what triggered this row between EU and AstraZeneca? Help us understand.
Well, there are two issues there that are easy to confuse, but let's just make sure that for the benefit of the viewers, we clarify what those two issues are. There's an issue of licensing and approval, just making sure that it's allowed the AstraZeneca or Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine can be used in Europe. That is a process that is actually under discussion, and we have heard today informally information that some of the people in Germany who are advising government have said that this vaccine should not be used for people that are over the age of 65 because there is not enough evidence that it will be good for them in terms of the efficacy, not safety but efficacy, that it will be effective. Because they are not that during the course of the trials, there were not many people who were over the age of 65 who were part of the trial. So that is what they are talking about. There's not enough data. And then there's the issue of if it's part of what they have already ordered and they want guarantees to get a certain number of doses per given week or month or whatever, because of the entire logistic network in Europe. They want to make sure that the pharmaceutical company will deliver as they promised due to the contract that we, of course, haven't been given sight of, but we understand that the EU is very unhappy that AstraZeneca and Oxford are not able to meet the obligation that they signed to in the contract between Brussels and the pharmaceutical company of guaranteeing that there will be enough supplies for the demand as per the previous schedule. So those are the two issues, but I think the main one is this issue about guaranteeing supply. Guys?
Well, Tam, we're still in the midst of the pandemic, and of course we're looking at the fact that the numbers are surging even in Europe and other parts of the world, really. Is it looking like they'll be able to resolve this, and probably AstraZeneca at some point, you know, being able to deliver on the vaccines that it actually promised the EU?
Maka, you always say that if you are a company, don't argue with government. The EU can always legislate, and it will be AstraZeneca who will lose out. There are other companies that are providing vaccines. So I think this will be resolved, but the power at the moment lies with the EU, the governments or whoever, the commissioners that are negotiating this. It's always the way it is. Companies will always lose out if they are dealing with governments.
AstraZeneca be able to do to make up for the deficit? Is it a case of investing a little bit more in production?
Well, we are not yet at a position where there's hoarding, because almost every country has only been able to vaccinate a small percentage of the population. And I think if we go further, the demand is global. And you know, some of these countries signed these deals a long time ago. And I think what will happen
Thank you very much,
Tham.